oh, you're so talented, I could never draw that. Yes, you could. In 1000 hours, we can talk again. If you thought you can't draw, you have no talent, I could not draw a realistic eye when I was 12. I couldn't draw it when I was 14, 15, 16. I was getting better and better, but it took me years. I'm 25 now. I have been creating art since I was about 12, and when I was like around 15, I got properly obsessed with drawing. So it took me over 10 years to get to the point where I am now. Let's look at the first art that I still have here. Let me just say that they're not great. They're not great, but they are a start. And this is pretty much the level where most people start. And if you start there, just know that I made it out of that phase too, so let's have a look at these. This is what it looks like when you start practicing to draw noses. Can you improve? For sure. Not that talented. Let's look at eyes. I feel like this is pretty much how everyone who starts drawing draws eyes. Again, not that talented. It is not bad art, but it is not like, if you want to draw realism, that is not what you want to end up with, but it is where you want to start, because this is how you learn. This is my try of trying to like draw something with a dragon that reflects in the eye. Again, technically the anatomy in this is not great, but I was getting there. Profiles. I think this might be one of the oldest I have lying around. So this was my art when I was 13 and a half, 14-ish. A really old piece again. I actually did also draw something on the back of it. Well, many of these have a date. This is in July 17. I did a lot of really good progress and really good anatomy sketches here. Okay. So this is Editing Isa right here, and Editing Isa says that I want to add a few more thoughts to this video, as I didn't have enough footage of me trying to explain to you what I mean. So if you look at the progress that I've made here, I also want to show you a few of my latest pieces, even though I haven't been painting properly in years. The skill that I have built over the years before my break of creating art regularly. This art is where I am right now. Like, for example, this. I've painted this raven recently, after a very long break of painting with actual acrylics. Because I've only been creating digital art in the last couple of years, if at all any art. And I've never painted a raven before. But if you understand how painting works, then you will understand later on how to paint a raven just based off of a reference that you found, like a picture. So I just took a photo of a raven and I painted it because I felt like it. And to get to that point, you have to practice painting off of a reference many times. I didn't wake up doing this. This is why I'm making this video. I'm making this video to show you that when I started painting / drawing, my art was no better than yours if you were starting out right now, or if you're in the middle of your journey and you feel like, my art is not as good as this particular artist's art. They are so much better, they're so much more talented. No, they're not. They have just put in lots of hundreds or thousands of hours more into learning the skill than you have so far, which is fine. You're on your journey, just stay on the journey. You will get there. You will get to the point where you know how to draw or paint a raven just off of looking at the reference, because you have worked with references so many times before. You will also be able to get to the point where you can draw things just from your imagination, because you've been practicing with references, because you've been looking at references so many times, and then you will get there. Yes, this is my newest art. This is one of the newest finished art pieces of mine. And it is nowhere close to where I started. I did not one day wake up and create art like that. No way in hell that anybody out there can do that. And if there's someone out there who can do that, they are actually talented, but they will be less than 1% of all artists. They are an absolute exception if that person exists. And my greatest respect to that person if they exist. But over 99% of artists that you see online, or that you ever see any work of, they've put in thousands of hours to get to that skill. It's like when you study something, like a bachelor's degree or even a PhD or something, you would never go to a doctor and say to that doctor, wow, you're so talented, like nobody else could ever have found out what I have. No, you wouldn't do that. Neither can you say that to an artist. An artist hasn't gotten to their level of skill because they're so talented. They, just like a doctor or just like anybody out there who has a really solid skill and really solid base of knowledge, they had to learn for it. They had to practice. So if you wouldn't say it to your doctor that they are so talented, then please don't say it to an artist. And please don't make yourself believe that you cannot be as good as the artist you see out there because they are talented. No. I know it's hard to think that you need to practice so much more. I know it's hard because I've been there. I have been there. I have thought to myself, I can never be as good at that as that artist. And I still sometimes think it. But then I need to remember that, well, I haven't been practicing either. I haven't been practicing enough to get even close to where I want to be with my art. I just simply have to be honest to myself that I have not practiced art in the last 3 years. What I used to do when I was younger was paint or draw almost every single day. And you don't have to do it every single day, but you have to do it every once in a while. You have to do it intentionally to actually practice. You have to do sketches of things that you see. You have to use references to practice, to then be able to use the references in the future to create pretty realistic or even stunningly realistic art. And I can't do that. I can't do really realistic art. I admire artists who paint a lion or something like that to the degree of detail where you think it's a photo. I can't do it. I could practice to do it, but it will take me more years from now. I don't wanna, it's not my style, but if I wanted to, I would have to practice. I would have to put in the work. Yeah, and that's what this video is all about. To show to you, to prove to you, I was there. I did create not good art. I started where you are, or where you will be, or where you have been. We're all the same here. We're all in the same boat. We just need to practice. We're not talented. We're just learning a skill. That's it. Thanks. Thanks for listening to my rant. This was very important to me. I had to get it out there. Thank you for being there to listen to this. And I'm always sorry for putting this on to people. But it's very important that you hear it. I hear it too many times in my life. Oh, you're so talented. I could never draw that. Yes, you could. In 1,000 hours, we can talk again. So have a lovely day and enjoy your practices.